Canadian Blood Services, we operate a national public cord blood bank, but we also run an adult stem cell registry. So through our adult stem cell registry, we recruit volunteer donors or volunteer registrants to potentially donate their stem cells to anybody in need in Canada or around the world in need of a stem cell transplant. So when somebody in Canada needs a stem cell transplant, we have access to our potential donors, but we also have access to donors around the world. And right now, there's about 37 million potential registrants around the world that we have access to. So one of the challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic is when this pandemic hit, it really impacted supply chain impacts because movement of stem cell products around the world became much more challenging. So for example, if we had a Canadian patient whose donor was in Germany, usually the normal process is those stem cells will get collected fresh in Germany, shipped by courier through flights to Canada, hand delivered to the transplant center. And then that process then the transplant takes place. But with the pandemic, especially during the early stages in March, this was becoming quite challenging because of logistical issues and flights being canceled, borders being closed, couriers not being allowed into the countries. This actually made the movement of product quite challenging. And so bringing product in from overseas, or from even, in our case, I live in Canada, even just from the US, became quite challenging. And so that's an example of how the whole supply chain became impacted, and bringing in of products from around the world to Canada, was disrupted. And I think it's also then shown that more countries are having to rely on their national registries a little bit more heavily during these times of crisis where movement of product was challenging.